you my full thoughts on the series until it's over, but I'm just saying there's been a lot of napping going on by Boba Fett. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and we are going to be talking about episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. So, I know there's a lot of strong opinions about this show, leaning towards the negative side. I'll kind of give you my thoughts on it when the series wraps up. So once we get to episode 7, since there is going to be 7 episodes, I initially thought there were going to be 6, but since it was stated there was going to be 7, so I'll give you my thoughts on the series as a whole when the series is over. I want to judge it as a full project rather than just episode by episode. Although I do agree that it started off a little slow. So we'll get into it. I'll give you my breakdown of the episode, and then we have just 2 questions that we have, but they're pretty big to go into episode 5 and the rest of the season overall. So I think the season's going to pick up and people are going to really appreciate it by the end, just based on some theories that I have myself. If you are new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week, beauty, vlogs, Marvel, Star Wars, DC. There's something on this channel for everyone. I just reacted to Moon Knight. The video went up yesterday, so please check that out next if you haven't seen it already. Super excited for that, as well as all the other Marvel projects we have this year, and we have lots of Star Wars projects coming out soon. I just realized I forgot to turn on my lights, so let me go ahead and do that, and we'll get started with the breakdown. So this episode is titled The Gathering Storm. So it's talking about we're getting ready for the war to break out between the Pikes and Boba Fett. So we're going to see if Boba Fett can gain any allies, which he tries to do this episode. And Fennec Shand hints to a very, very big ally that they could call on later in the episode. But that is the overall gist of the episode of what's happening. This episode, like most of the other episodes, is about 75-80% flashback, and then the rest is present day, which I think after this episode it's going to be the present day as where we left Boba Fett rather than flashing back to stuff, because we're done with the Bacta tank. So the episode starts with him dreaming in the Bacta tank. Boba travels to Jabba'S palace to try to get his ship back. But there are too many guards, so he ends up saying he's going to come back another day, and then he goes and finds Fennec Shand, just like the same shot, we see the exact same shot from the episode of The Mandalorian, where Boba walks up to Fennec and takes her to the modifier, as he is referred to in the closed captioning. So he takes her to the modifier to replace her guts with machinery so that she could still survive. So this is the first little taste of the Cyborg Clan we have. We don't have any of the same characters that are in his little gang in that scene, but we know that there are more like them, and that is most likely where they went to get modified. As part of repaying her debt, Fennec helps Boba get his ship back from Jabba's palace. There's a big fight that ensues. There's a fight between Boba Fett and a little tiny droid that is a rat catcher droid. That was supposed to be funny. I think it was a little pathetic, in my opinion. I get where they were going, but I don't think that they need to try to make this a funny series, which they definitely did in this scene, or were trying to in this scene. I think just Boba Fett is more of a serious character. You don't need to have gags in the series for it to be good. One of the droids had a little tease of General Grievous when he started whipping his knives around, just like General Grievous whipped around the lightsabers and did the little spinning motion with them. Side note, that is like my favorite Sith character to play. Well, he's not a Sith, but one of the evil characters to play on Battlefront, just so you can do that move where he just goes wah, 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 wah. My favorite. Once Boba gets his ship back, he then guns down the Kenton Striders, the gang, although Fennec Shand teases that it might not have been them, that it seems pretty unlikely that they would be able to mow down all the Tuskens the way that they supposedly did. So most likely it is another group, which we're going to talk about when we get to questions. Fennec then agrees to join Boba on his journeys through gaining the palace and doing all that, which is why she is still with him, because I guess she likes his company. So she wants to hang out with him instead of being a hired assassin forever. Like I said at the beginning, Boba gets completely healed from his wounds from going into the Sarlacc. We realize that's why he needed to have so many naps, is because he went to the Sarlacc to try to get his armor back, not realizing that the Jawas took it. He must have been so delirious when he came out of the Sarlacc that he didn't understand where the armor even went. But he's completely healed, so now we're back to tank naps. Aw, this whole series has been back to tank naps. Again, I'm not going to give my full thoughts on the series until it's over, but I'm just saying there's been a lot of napping going on by Boba Fett. We then go to the bar/casino that the Twi'lek from the first episode owns, and we see Black Chrysanthemum is angrily drinking a drink, real mean Wookiee time, and he decides to start a fight with a group of Trandoshans. Trandoshans being the same species Bossk is. Now, I don't know if Wookiees have beef with Trandoshans or Chrysanthemum has beef with Trandoshans. Maybe he has beef with Bossk and he just hates Trandoshans then. That would be pretty cool if we got a little Bossk tie in there. But I think it was just meant to show that he's ruthless and will not give up fighting because that's all he knows how to do. We think that the Twi'lek who owns the bar is going to be able to calm him down, and then he ends up ripping the arm off of a Trandoshan. It was pretty violent. We get to see that pure Wookiee violence that's always teased with Chewbacca that we never see because Chewbacca is just this lovely, fun Wookiee that everyone loves and adores. But in reality, very, very violent creatures. So Boba comes in, sees this whole thing goes down, and hires Chrysanthemum. So after letting him go, he decides to just rehire him an episode later. I predicted that Chrysanthemum could come help Boba, so definitely would be some good muscle to have for this upcoming war against the Pikes, because there are a lot of Pikes and not a lot of people on Boba's side. Speaking of which, he hosts a little dinner party with the meetings of the head families of Mos Espa to basically convince them to try to join his side. When that's unsuccessful, he's like, okay, fine, you don't have to join me, but please don't join the Pikes. Like, I can promise you much better than what the Pikes are going to promise you. So right now they're going to be neutral, and they haven't joined Boba to defend Tatooine against the Pikes, but we'll see if maybe they join. But Fennec says that there's they could call on a lot of muscle with the credits that they have. And then, I swear to God, the beginning of the Mandalorian theme music played. We get the doo-doo-doo. Yeah. So I'm thinking that there's going to be Mandalorians showing up to help Boba to defend Tatooine. This would be really awesome if we saw Din or the other Mandalorians like bo-katan and her group of night owls would be really good muscle against the Pikes. I don't know if they'll show up. I'm a little kind of like, I feel like they would wait until Mandalorian Season 3, but with the theme music playing, I just don't know. I think that they might show up next episode or the episode after to help defend Tatooine. So I hope so, because I think that would make this series so good. I know this is a Boba Fett series and we shouldn't be hoping for the Mandalorian to show up, but I love the Mandalorian and I want him to show up. So if the theme music plays, the theme music plays. I did not make that up. That legitimately happened. you can go back and watch it. That Mandalorian theme music was in the episode. So that's my breakdown. I get a little into it there. That's my breakdown. So my questions we have for this is, who really killed the Tuskens? Fennec is laying seeds of doubt. Now, it could be the Pikes. It could be people that, like the mayor that is working with the Pikes. So it could be some other group, but it looks like it was probably the Pikes that did it and are trying to blame the Kenton Striders on it just so that they can get rid of them and get a new team of people to take in. Like, they'll just throw them under the bus. They don't really care about them, because once they get rid of them, then they don't have to pay tribute to anybody to cross the Dune Seas. So I'm thinking that it was really the Pikes that ended up killing the Tuskens. Second question, which I already really answered, is, are we going to see Mando and the other Mandalorians in this war? I think yes. If we don't see Mando, we might see bo-katan and the other Night Owls, because I think they're going to still be helping out and wanting to do stuff. Although bo-katan was not a huge fan of Boba Fett, but she could take money to get resources. You know, the same thing that she's been trying to do is to go after the remnants of the Empire and help retake Mandalore. So she could use that to gain power in her own right. Din is kind of friends with Boba Fett, so he could help in the sense that he feels a sense of loyalty to Boba Fett. But bo-katan does not like him, so it would be for much different reasons that they would help out. But I think she and the other Night Owls would take the money. Like, they don't care. Like, just give me that dang money. Give me them credits. That's what bo-katan would say. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. I am doing videos for the rest of the Book of Boba Fett, as well as all the other Marvel series and Star Wars series and The Boys, which is coming out this summer. So please be sure to stick around for that. I love you all. I was going to say that. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on Friday with a new video. Bye!